We were sort of at lap 50. I had done all of my commitments to be there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And you know what? I actually went through my calendar and figured it out. You know how long ago that was?
How long ago was it?
9.5 weeks. Seems like It was 9.5 months ago, doesn't it?
It's weird because it feels like forever ago, but also feels like it just happened.
It does, yeah. I guess that sort of thing does feel like that.
It's hard to think of a modern celebrity couple more adored and more private than Tom Holland and Zendaya. From their humble beginnings as teenage co-stars in Spider-Man, Homecoming, to becoming Hollywood's golden couple, their relationship has captured hearts across the globe. But recently, fans are beginning to suspect that something even more magical may be unfolding. The possibility that Zendaya and Tom might be expecting their first child. To understand how this rumor is gaining traction, you first have to look at how rooted and genuine their love story really is. Back in 2016, a then 19-year-old Zendaya and Tom were cast as love interests MJ and Peter Parker. Their chemistry was electric, both on screen and off. But it wasn't until the Spider-Man Homecoming press tour in 2017 that fans began buzzing about a potential romance. They were flirty, undeniably close, and yet they insisted they were just friends. For years, that was the narrative. But in 2021, that all changed. The couple finally went public, confirming what many already believed when paparazzi photos of them kissing at a traffic light in Los Angeles went viral. Since then, the two have been more open, but only just, maintaining a healthy distance from Hollywood's tendency to overshare. Instead of flashy headlines, their relationship has unfolded through subtle, heartfelt moments, like Tom's recent revelation that they sometimes watch Spider-Man together just to reminisce about the early days of their bond. Zendaya, for her part, reflected in another interview about how safe and comfortable she felt working with Tom, especially during those formative years of her career. Their mutual respect and understanding became even more apparent when the couple was cast together once again, this time in Christopher Nolan's upcoming epic, The Odyssey, set for release next summer. This shared project has only deepened their already unbreakable bond. On the Dish podcast, Tom didn't hold back about how much Zendaya's presence means to him on set. "Best thing that's ever happened to me," he said with conviction, calling her a saving grace. He went on to share how they debrief after filming, exchanging glances and private jokes when things on set get frustrating. "It's just perfect," he added. "That familiar glance and like, I can't wait to talk about that later." Their professional partnership, it seems, is only matched by their personal one. Not long after those podcast moments warmed the hearts of millions, the couple confirmed their engagement. A quiet reveal, as usual, with Zendaya debuting her ring at the Golden Globes in early 2025. The ring sparkled, but it was her serene smile and nonchalant shrug that set the internet ablaze. No formal announcement was made, no Instagram carousel, just Zendaya doing what she always does, saying everything without saying a word. But if you thought that was enough to make fans swoon, think again. Tom recently gave an interview that revealed just how deeply Zendaya has become a part of his roots. Literally. Speaking with GQ during Wimbledon season, he reflected on his childhood in Kingston upon Thames, a quiet suburb just outside of London. He shared how his mother used to send him and his 3 younger brothers to Wimbledon when they were too rambunctious. Now, he's one of the biggest stars you're likely to see courtside. But it was his comments about Zendaya that really stole the show. Asked which of her Wimbledon outfits was his favorite, Tom immediately pointed to a moment from a few years ago. Zendaya wore that Ralph Lauren suit a couple of years ago, and she just looked so beautiful and so at home. He went on to say, "It meant so much to me for her to be in a place that I call home and look like such a part of our community." Fans melted, Reddit threads blew up. One user wrote, "You're never going to catch this man not calling her beautiful. It's been almost 10 years of him hyping her up." Another chimed in with, "May this kind of love find me in 2025. But here's where things take a turn towards something even more intriguing. Zendaya isn't just emotionally at home in Tom's world, she's physically present in it too. The couple now lives in Richmond, just a stone's throw from Tom's hometown of Kingston. It's the kind of deeply rooted domestic move that signals long-term planning, not just marriage, family. And that brings us to the whispers, those quiet yet persistent rumors that Zendaya might be expecting. Fueling the speculation was a recent sighting in Scotland, where Tom and Zendaya were seen grabbing coffee during a break from filming The Odyssey. Zendaya wore an oversized cardigan, loosely draped over a tank top and flowy black pants. At first glance, it seemed like standard cozy wear for the chilly Scottish weather, but fans couldn't help but notice how often she kept pulling the cardigan closed, particularly around her midsection. Even more telling, Tom's behavior. In the candid photos circulating on social media, Tom was seen gently guiding Zendaya with a hand at her lower back, standing close by her side, shielding her from onlookers. The way he looked at her, especially at her belly, did not go unnoticed. For fans, this wasn't just protectiveness. This was tenderness, intimacy. It screamed, something's different. Was Zendaya protecting a budding bump with that cardigan? Was Tom being careful with his movements around her? Or was this just another day in their famously affectionate relationship? Was it simply a cozy moment between two fiancés in love? Maybe. But this couple doesn't do public displays often. When they step out, there's usually a reason, and this time it may have been their way of quietly introducing a new chapter. When it comes to Tom Holland and Zendaya, nothing is ever overexposed. Unlike many celebrity couples whose every move is curated and broadcasted, Tom and Zendaya communicate in a language of subtleties. Private smiles, quiet walks, unspoken glances. So when fans begin to speculate that something major may be happening behind the scenes, it's usually based on more than just wishful thinking. And lately, all signs seem to point toward one beautiful possibility. Zendaya may be pregnant. Let's break it down. Their recent sighting in Scotland, the first since their engagement was quietly confirmed at the 2025 Golden Globes, immediately set social media on fire. But it wasn't just their matching low-key outfits or the calm intimacy they exuded during their coffee run. It was Zendaya's choice of attire, a loose cardigan draped carefully over a simple white tank and paired with roomy pants. And more than the outfit itself, it was how she wore it. Strategically pulled shut, her arms often folded protectively around her stomach. Zendaya has always been a fashion chameleon, switching from daring red carpet couture to street-style chic with ease. But for someone known for embracing fitted silhouettes and statement-making looks, this soft, layered, almost reserved appearance sent the internet spiraling. Was it just a casual choice, or was she trying to conceal the early signs of pregnancy? Then there's Tom, known for being wildly in love with Zendaya. He never misses a chance to call her beautiful, and his interviews are practically love letters. His behavior during their Scotland outing was telling. In multiple photos, he's seen walking slightly ahead but always looking back at her, ensuring she's comfortable. At one point, he rests a hand on the small of her back as they cross the street. Another shows him stealing a glance at her abdomen. This isn't the posture of just a doting fiancé. This is someone acutely aware of the preciousness of what they might be carrying together. And it wouldn't be the first time Tom has hinted at being ready for fatherhood. In a 2023 interview, Tom shared that starting a family was something he had always looked forward to. "One day," he said with a soft smile, "I'd love to be a dad." He continued, "I've always been family-oriented, and at the time, it was just a hopeful statement. But now, with their engagement confirmed, a shared home in Richmond near his childhood stomping grounds, and growing maturity in both their careers, it feels like the right time may have arrived." Zendaya, too, has made several comments in the past 2 years that align with this shift. In her 2004 Vanity Fair profile, she spoke at length about wanting a life of depth and balance. "There's so much I want to do in this industry. Act, produce, maybe direct," she said. "But I also don't. And what matters more than starting a family with the person you love?" Insiders have noted that while Zendaya is still booked and busy, her team has quietly pulled her out of a few late 2025 press events that were initially on her calendar. Her reps claim it's due to scheduling conflicts with The Odyssey, but sources say she's been prioritizing rest and privacy more than ever. Even her social media presence has changed. Zendaya, once a regular poster of behind-the-scenes film stills, brand shoots, and travel diaries, has grown increasingly minimal in recent months. Some fans believe it's simply a protective instinct. After all, if she is expecting, it makes sense that she and Tom would want to keep that chapter sacred. But even without a direct confirmation, the internet is in full baby fever mode. TikTok is flooded with fan edits, showing Zendaya cradling a fake bump set to lullabies and romantic tracks. Others have taken to Reddit to analyze her recent outings frame by frame, comparing her previous silhouettes to now. And many can't help but recall her body language at the Golden Globes earlier this year, standing slightly sideways, holding her hands at her stomach, and skipping the after-party altogether. "I think she's pregnant and just waiting for the right moment to tell us," one viral tweet read. I mean, have you seen the way Tom looks at her lately? That man is glowing like he's the one expecting. While some brush it off as fan speculation, others argue that it fits perfectly into the pattern of how the couple has handled every major step of their relationship, quietly, meaningfully, and on their own terms. From the way Tom asked Zendaya's father, Kazembe, for his blessing before proposing, to how they moved into their Richmond home with zero fanfare, to the carefully coordinated public outings that seem timed to perfection, they've always written their own narrative. Why would a pregnancy be any different? And let's not forget that both actors are at a natural transition point in their lives. At 28 and 29, Zendaya and Tom have climbed the ranks of Hollywood royalty. They've conquered blockbuster franchises, received critical acclaim, and built legacies well beyond their years. What comes next for two people so deeply in love, so perfectly aligned, and so ready to slow down just a bit? A baby wouldn't just be the next step, it would be the perfect one. Of course, fans will have to wait and see. Zendaya and Tom aren't likely to post a baby scan on Instagram or sit down for a tell-all interview, but their actions have always spoken louder than words. And right now, everything they're doing, the clothes, the quiet, the closeness, whispers a truth that may soon become impossible to hide. Whatever the outcome, one thing is certain. Tom and Zendaya's love is already the kind we all dream of. If there's a little Holland on the way, the world will be watching, not with intrusion, but with hearts full of joy. And knowing them, when the time is right, they'll tell us in the most Zendaya and Tom way possible. Not with noise, but with love. A love story that's been unfolding before our eyes, yet always felt intimate.